So how do you feel everything played out?
Yeah, really good. I think the early morning trade to pick up 15 for us really gave us the ability to go get players at multiple positions and provide depth. So I think we didn't expect Monique to fall, but I think we were ready to seize the opportunity when it presented itself.
So what was your plan going into the draft, and how do you feel you achieved your goals?
Well, I think this team is pretty stacked. I think we have a deep roster, so it was a situation where we wanted to build depth at the guard and the forward and the post position. So we knew that, we didn't necessarily have, with 3 picks in the draft, 3 players that could ultimately make our team, but we looked for players that, had high character and filled roles that we thought they could develop into great players in this league in the future, or just kind of give us a little bit of a lift off the bench.
What experience did you bring with you from, being an assistant coach in the WNBA that carried over into you making your decisions as a head coach?
Well, I think being in the league 2 years, you realize that this league just keeps getting more and more athletic. And so, you definitely really address athleticism when you're scouting, which is why Monique Billings is in the position she's in, because she's one of the better athletes in the draft. I think you also have to be ready. 3 minutes isn't very long on the clock, and you spend a lot of time preparing for the draft, but it doesn't always unfold the way that you expect it to or you predict it, so you have to be ready to make a move when you're in that situation.
A lot of people had Monique Billings going in the first round. What was it that you saw in her role for the Dream with this season?
Yeah, I think she's just a really special athlete, really high character, good student, good family, someone who wants the opportunity, a very, very hard worker. And I think anyone who sees her play, whether in person or on film, you're going to see this a tireless worker. She rim runs. She's as good as anybody in the draft at rebounding out of her area. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, like some players get balls that come to them, others really pursue the ball off the glass. And so she's just a really special rebounder that I think long-term can develop into a really special stretch 4. Needs time, to develop, but I think our roster presents a situation where she can.
So Christie Wallace tore her ACL late this season. What were the things that you saw to take her with the number 16 pick?
Yeah, I've been watching Christie play since she was 16. I recruited her as an assistant when I was at Arkansas, so I've followed her career. Always felt like she was actually a better offensive player than maybe she always statistically showed at Baylor, which really came out her senior year, had huge games against Texas and carried them to wins and kind of those big conference matchups. We were actually there scouting her in person the day that she tore her ACL. And with our roster the way it is, we have the ability to kind of stash someone for a year and let her recover. And if there's anything I know about Christie Wallace, it's that she's going to attack rehab. I just have no doubt that she'll come back a really good player and won't have lost a whole lot.
And so you selected a local product in Mackenzie Ingram with your 3rd round pick. What do you expect to see from her as she dresses for her first training camp?
Well, I think she really was incredible at the combine. She stood out. I'm not sure everybody had her on the draft board going in a couple weeks ago even, but she was really a standout at the combine, showed me a level of athleticism that even though I've watched her over the years and living in SEC country like that I hadn't really seen in her. So I really feel like she maybe has the ability to move and play some small forward in this league. I think she can guard multiple positions. And she can really shoot the 3. So she gives us another player that can stretch the floor and, will compete for a spot. It's not going to be easy. 15 players in camp and only 12 make the team. But I think she really earned the opportunity with her late season play.